Hello, my name is Angie Chamberlain, and this is my Teach One presentation for HAP 725 at George Mason University with Dr. Alemi. Today we're going to be looking at question 4 in the probability and distributions question. Now, question 4 shows us that we are looking at a data set that we have been working with for a couple questions now. We have been looking at the complication rates for hip and knee replacements. And in question 4, they're asking us to plot this data along with the rate of pressure sores at each of these hospitals. So we're plotting that relationship between the rate of complications of hip and knee replacements and pressure sores. And we're going to be doing this in Excel. So our first step is to take our data, and our data comes from the hospital compared data sets. We're looking at the complications by hospital data sheet, and we are extracting the information for the rate of complications from hip and knee replacements, which we've done previously. And then we're matching the pressure sores data from that same sheet. And so we take our information from a previous question where we have the hospital name, the denominator, the rate, and the score for hip and knee replacement complications. And then we're going to take our data for the pressure sores, and we're going to calculate the rate of pressure sores based on the denominator, which is the number of patients, and the score. And we're going to create a new column in column C that shows that calculation. Now in our main sheet, we're going to combine by matching on hospital name. So in this sheet, I placed the rate of complication from hip and knee replacement by hospital name. And I created a third column that will show the rate or pressure scores from the data sheet that we just created. And so we are matching based on column B and the similar column in the other sheet. So we're matching up the corresponding hospital names. They're coming from the same data set, so we can assume that they are going to have the same values, and they're going to be spelled exactly the same way, so they will match up. And so for each matching hospital name, we're going to enter or find and enter the rate of pressure sores that we just calculated in a previous sheet. And we can see this in real time by taking a look at here is our pressure sore calculation. And so for each hospital, this formula is going to match the hospital name on this sheet with the hospital name on this sheet, grab that value, and put it into the cell that we indicated. And so we're going to use that same formula down the line. We can just extend it by putting it into the first cell and then double clicking on this little box at the corner of the highlighted cell. And it's going to populate all of the cells in the data sheet with that same formula. So we don't have to take the time to write in that formula several times. We can just go ahead and move it down the line. And it's going to search by the corresponding cell in column B. So it is going to be moving down that line for us. And so once we've done that, this is what our data set should look like. And then we can go ahead and plot our graph now that we have our corresponding points. So we are going to plot along the X and Y axes. We can go ahead and select the rate of pressure or rate of complications from hip and knee replacement and the rate of pressure sores columns. And we're going to go ahead and click the Insert tab and select a scatter plot to go ahead and create that graph. And so our data is going to be, based on the X values, is going to be the hip and knee replacement complications, and the Y value is going to be the pressure sores. And this is the resulting graph. So we're going to go ahead and put in our titles, our axes titles, and all of that. And this shows the scatter plot showing those relationships. And we can put in a trend line if we would like to. If we go to chart design, create our trend line by going to add chart elements and creating the kind of trend line that we would want. So we can either do a forecasting, a moving average, or a linear trend. So let's take a look and see what these trends are. So here we see a linear trend here, or we can do moving average, which is just going to be a little crazy. I'm just going to calculate point by point, so this may take a few moments. But generally, we're looking at what the general trend is over time. Or not over time, but over the change in the rate of hip replacement complication. And so we see as that rises, the rate of pressure sores also rises slightly.